guys still there? Instagram, Facebook. Hello, it's Wednesday, right around 1. I'm Dawn, your food director at Real Simple, and this is Real Simple Cooking School. You guys know how we do it. We are roasting chicken today, okay, just to like set it up. But then quickly, let's review the rules. When we wash our hands, I've washed my hands probably 7 times in the last 7 minutes. You see why. Rule number 2, we silence our phones. That's actually a new one. Rule number 3, we play nice. This is a constructive teaching kitchen, and I aim to keep it that way. If you don't have anything nice to say, you are now dismissed. Get back to work. We're here to have a good time and learn some good stuff about 30-minute roast chicken. That's right, I said it. 30 minutes. Now, there's more than one way to roast chicken. That is absolutely true. But it doesn't have to be reserved just for Sundays when you like have a lot of time, whether it's slow roasting or roasting it whole. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of tricks to get it on the table really fast, and it starts right now. Ready? Okay. This is a whole chicken. They come in a variety of sizes, but most that you find these days are like 3.5 to 4 pounds. This guy I think is like 4.16. Not super crucial that it's at a specific weight, but like 3.5 to 4 pounds is what you're going for. Another fun fact, no gas today. So I have this handy dandy induction burner here. I think I know how it works. So bear with me if I need to adjust the heat. Okay, the secret, getting this on medium high, it's telling me when. Secret to fast chicken, spatchcock. Now, don't get scared. It seems like a funny word. All that means is taking out the backbone. You can spatchcock a turkey. You can spatchcock a chicken. You can spatchcock any poultry with a backbone. That's all of them. Okay, so let's do it. This is a chicken. These are the breasts, right? So we want to actually go breast side down for this. I like to use and work on, especially when I'm working with poultry, a plastic cutting board, especially one that fits in the dishwasher, because that way you know you can get it super clean and sanitized, okay? Now, all we're going to do is take out the backbone. See, like this is his tailbone. Backbone runs right here. I know whole chickens can be intimidating. Roast 3 and you'll be good to go forever. It kind of like cures some of those nerves, okay? So you can do this with a sharp knife. I like this smaller guy, less intimidating for me and easier for me to wield. But if you have a pair of sharp kitchen shears, that's preferred. You'll see why. Okay, and like there's all there is to it. So let's start from this end because he's a little easier to hold. It doesn't really matter which end you start with, but this is a little easier for me to see, so I'm going to go here. And all we're going to do is cut along both sides. That's it. And these kitchen shears will cut like right through the bone. You might need 2 hands. I do. Hear it? Just going to cut straight through on either side. And then we get to the end, you see that's the neck, right? And you're just going to cut right through the skin there. See? One side, done. Now, I'm a righty, so I'm going to keep that rather than like do something awkward like this, holding the spine and cutting this way, I'm just going to turn it around, right? No big deal. Okay? And do the same thing. I might need 2 hands, but this is working. Now, these shears are strong. They're having a little trouble getting through the skin, but that's no big deal. Just come back. And the thigh area is sometimes the hardest to get through, but just keep going. You'll get it. That's it. Wasn't that hard? Not intimidating, right, guys? Okay, now I'm going to save this back for chicken stock. Put it in a resealable bag, stick it in the freezer. When you have a few, you'll make stock, right? An onion, a couple carrots, celery. Maybe someone can drop the link. Is Brooke doing? Brooke, hi. Brooke's doing the comments, so ask any questions along the way and she'll throw them back to us. Okay, that said, I'm going to put these in the dishwasher, or rather the sink. We'll wash those in a sec. I'm still working with chicken, so I'm not going to wash yet. So you guys get it? This was the backbone is now gone. I'm going to grab a paper towel, and I'm just going to pat it dry. You'll see why in a second. Okay, flipping it over. Now, he's pretty much spatchcocked. The only thing I'm going to ask you to do now is to kind of give it some help in the flattening department. So just want to take the heel of your hand right on the breastbone, right? That's like the same as on you. And really put your weight into it, same as pitting the olive, remember, guys? and you like kind of feel it give way. This guy is like pretty busty, if I do say so myself. You can also kind of break it open like that. And that's just to help it lay flat, okay? Now I'm gonna wash. That's the thing, I mean, you do kind of have to wash your hands a lot when you're dealing with raw poultry. It's annoying, but it's worth it. Safety first. Same thing when I'm working with chicken, I often like to use paper towels for drying versus my towel because I don't want to get confused and like touch a raw chicken towel with my clean hands, right? Okay, so now you see the paper towel. Head start on the 30-minute chicken starts right here in a hot cast iron. So we're like preheated. This thing is telling me exactly that it's medium high. I like cast iron, remember, because it gets hot and stays hot, plus it's safe on the stove and safe in the oven. We're gonna start here, it's gonna give it a head start, plus we're gonna get this super crispy skin. So I'm actually gonna add like a little bit of oil in here, but I'm also gonna give my chicken a little bit of oil. You could do this on a sheet tray, but you might as well just do it on your cutting board because you have to wash it anyway. Some salt all over. Now, I learned once that it was about a teaspoon of salt per pound of chicken. I know that sounds like a lot, but that's going to be like a really delicious succulent chicken. If you have salt issues, by all means, like dial it back. But that's going to give you like a really, really delicious crispy skin as well. Okay, so I've got some oil, salt, and pepper. Now the paper towel is also important because it picks up any residual moisture. And so I'm going to have a dry chicken going in the hot oil. Otherwise, it's going to steam, right? We've talked about that a lot. Same goes for cooking fish or steak. You always want to pat dry season and then right in the hot pan. See how I have to wash again? Annoying, but best practices. It's also helpful if you set aside a separate dish of salt and pepper so you know like, okay, I'm just gonna season with this and get rid of it after, and you don't have to worry about contaminating your existing salt. But that was a clean hand. Salt, some more pepper. And we're good to go, right? So far, any questions? Like super easy, no big deal. Place cookware. Okay, that's working. Now, using hands, I'm gonna go right in the skillet. Hear that sizzle? That's what we're looking for. I'm gonna remove this chicken business to the sink. And we'll worry about that later. Oh, it's beeping at me, now what? Oh no, that's a timer. Okay guys. This is going to happen for about 5 minutes. All we're looking for, like you're browning any piece of chicken, like the chicken thighs, remember 3-ingredient chicken thighs a couple weeks ago? We're looking for golden crispy skin. That's what we're after. It's just like cooking small pieces, just big piece, right? Now, one thing I'm going to do to help this along, though, I'm going to take another smaller skillet and put it on top. All this is doing is helping create even pressure across the bird so you get an even browning on the bottom. You don't have to do this, but you guys have heard about like chicken under a brick. Literally that, like you can wrap bricks in foil and use that. You can also just use anything heavy like another cast iron. So that timer was for the chicken that I started before you got here because I was smart and thinking ahead. Here we go. Coming at you. Hold on. 2 hands. Ooh. I'm gonna go to the stove. Phil. So, this chicken here, browned it for 5 minutes there, stuck it in the oven, skin side down still. See? That's because I want super crispy skin, golden brown. 15 minutes, I'm gonna flip it and put it back in the oven. I like 2 pairs of tongs for this. Otherwise, call a friend. But remember, this is very hot. For safety's sake, really a good idea to keep that handle covered with an oven mitt or a clean, dry side towel, because I'm not the only one who's going grabbing hot handles and it's not fun. Okay, Phil, can you come? Tessa, watch your back. Okay, ready? I'm gonna flip it away from me for safety. Pick it up, both tongs. Ooh, mama. Looking good, right? And just give him a little adjustment so he sits right in the center. Okay. Let me see how, okay. 2 hands. Open the oven door. 2 hands on the skillet. Back in, 15 minutes. No big deal. And now you have time to do some other stuff. I'm going to set a timer though so we don't forget. David told me, hi Jerry. Oh, Jerry asked a great question. What's the oven temperature? The oven is on 450 degrees. If you're confident, if you've done this a bunch of times, you can even go as hot as 500. But that said, you got to keep an eye on it. 500, you have a lot less wiggle room, right, than 450. So this may take an extra 5 minutes, but this is safe. Any questions while we're waiting for this guy to brown?
Crystal wants to know if you can use a stainless steel pan instead of a cast iron pan.
Crystal, you can absolutely use a stainless steel pan instead of a cast iron pan. Anything oven safe. So what you're looking to avoid is anything with a plastic handle, which a lot of manufacturers are making so they don't get hot. The drawback is they can't go in the oven. And I would say not non-stick. Non-stick are usually oven safe to about 400 degrees. So I tend to not use them when I get really hot in the oven. Anything else?
Kathy wants to know how big that cast iron pan is and how large the chicken was.
This chicken, Catherine, just to review, was about 4 pounds. 3.5 to 4 pound chicken is your sweet spot. This is a 12-inch cast iron skillet. 12 inches is a great size for your all-purpose skillet. Whether it's cast iron or whether it's stainless steel, 12 inches is like the one I use every night. See, same size. So this is a great all-purpose skillet. This one is All Clad makes it. It's an investment, but you'll have it forever. Cast iron, also great. Ooh, I almost died on the thing. Okay, so let's call this golden brown. We'll take a look under the lid. Let's see if we're getting any color. Come around here. Oh yeah, I'll move the paper towels. See this, guys? Phil, Tess is shaking her head. Oh yeah, Phil's nodding in agreement. We're getting some really nice color. So at this point, we're gonna stick him in the oven, set the timer for 15 minutes. So I guess, truthfully, it's 30 minutes in the oven and then we got a 5-minute head start in the stove. I've got both ovens on. He's going in. 2 hands with a heavy skillet, and I have weak wrists. There you go. Okay, we're done on this stove. Now, what to do with all this inactive time? See, guys, see how we're smart cooking here? You could put on a pot of rice, cook up some quinoa, roast some crispy potatoes. You could crisp them up, the ones that you boiled the other day, right? Who was here last week? These guys were here last week boiling potatoes and making them crispy after. Phil did his homework. Okay, I'm going to show you one of my favorite ways to finish roast chicken, which is a bread salad. So this is like half of a Frenchy kind of bread. I tore up half of it there. I'm going to tear up the other half here. So one of the benefits of roasting a chicken yourself versus, say, buying a rotisserie, which I think is a wonderful convenience product, and you should absolutely incorporate that into your weeknight cooking if you need shortcuts. However, roasting your own chicken, you have the benefit of all those delicious chicken juices and the chicken fat. And it means you don't have to add extra fat. So it's another reason, remember with the chicken thighs, we didn't have to use as much oil because we had that rendered fat in the skillet. Same thing. We're going to have all this delicious fat and juices in that chicken skillet. We're going to toss it with the bread, put these in the oven, chicken fat croutons. Rebecca just did this. What? That's what I hope you guys did watching this at home or at work, wherever you're watching it. So all you want to do, tear up some bread. I like some with a decent amount of crust because I'm a crust person. If not, you can use mostly interior, up to you. Bite-sized pieces. You could go big. A large format crouton is good. You could slice it, you could cube it, doesn't matter. Just tear it up into bite-sized pieces, and then it waits for the chicken. When that's done, we're going to take the chicken out of the skillet, pour any of the juices over this, stick these in the oven while the chicken rests, and dress our salad. See? Pretty easy, huh? Any questions while we're tearing and talking?
Yes. Okay, Crystal wants, not Crystal, sorry, Crystal.
Sorry, Sorry, Crystal.
Michelle wants to know if you could add any other seasoning, or would you just recommend salt and pepper to begin with?
Michelle wants to know, can I add any other seasonings? 1,000 to the chicken. 1,000% yes. I just wanted to keep it simple, give you guys kind of baseline. That was just salt, pepper, and olive oil. You could add fresh chopped rosemary or thyme. You could throw some lemons in the skillet, or even like slip a few underneath the skin. Or you could go with dried spices like paprika, or even like curry powder could be cool. A mixture of like chili powder, oregano, and cumin for like Latin flavor. So yes, have fun with it, experiment. But I just wanted to show you guys basic approach.
Also, can we just give a shout out to Marianne, who's watching in the Target parking lot right now?
Marianne, yes, watching in the Target parking lot. Which Target? And where? And what's on your list?
Oh my gosh, and Gail tries to watch these lives every week.
Gail.
Such great feedback this week, guys.
Good. Okay, just to kind of get the show on the road here, I'm going to use the fat from that skillet on those croutons, but I just want you guys to get the idea that olive oil, also fat, I can use this. If you don't want to use the chicken fat for whatever reason, no big deal. A little bit of salt and pepper, olive oil in the oven, and then we'll have these to finish, and we won't have to wait around twiddling our thumbs. Give them a toss. But this is also like all-purpose croutons. Whatever bread you like, again, you could cube it, you could tear it, toss with a little oil, salt and pepper, toast them in the oven right alongside the chicken, and you have croutons for the week. Other questions? Who else is watching, like, in the car?
Laura Shocker's watching and says she's always wanted to make this, but she's too scared.
Laura Shocker, oh, how we miss you. You can do this. Did you see the spatchcocking? I'll talk about it again, but guys, you can also, if you're intimidated to do the scissoring out the backbone part, the guy at the grocery store or gal at the grocery store can do it for you. You can even take them the chicken that's already wrapped up and say, can you spatchcock this for me? And they'll know what I mean, okay? So that was just a little olive oil, salt and pepper on some torn pieces of bread. I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna put it in this one just because more control. 5-7 minutes.
Esther wants to know if you can make more than one chicken in a pan.
Okay, here's the thing. Esther wants to know, can I make more than one chicken in a pan? The short answer is yes, but it ends up being a different method because you can't fit 2 chickens unless you have a gigantic skillet and tiny chickens or like Cornish hens. They're not going to fit. If you want to roast 2 chickens at a time, I suggest keeping them whole and just roasting them in a roasting pan or on a sheet tray. Okay, so you're going to tie them up, you're going to cross their legs, bind them like this, side by side, and that's a situation where I really like to go low and slow. Our slow roasted chicken recipe is awesome, 300 degrees, 3 hours, no hands. So you put your chickens in there, then walk away. Do laundry, go for a walk, read a book, take some time for you. Come back, you've got 2 great chickens ready to go for the rest of the week. Questions, concerns, comments?
We have a cleaning question.
Cleaning, oh boy, somebody nervous about chicken?
Really just wondering, Marianne wants to know how you clean a skillet kind of after this process, whether it's like an all-flat or a cast iron.
Okay, don't be afraid to soak. That was always my out when I was a kid, and it was my night to do the dishes. Sorry, question to review was about cleaning the skillet after this. Don't be afraid to soak. Give yourself a break. Come back in the morning. 2, there is a decent amount of fat that chicken's going to give off because we're cooking it with the skin on. So the fat kind of lubricates everything. Dry skillet and sugar, I think, are the 2 times when you get like a crazy mess. Scorch of the day, we used to call it. Right, Brad? So this should clean up fairly easily. I like, Rebecca, what, like scorch of the day?
I just have a funny comment for you in a second.
Okay, I can't wait. Okay, these are my favorite kind of sponges. You guys see all this inactive time? We're like chatting about cleaning and whatever. Okay, with the scrubby side and the spongy side. Those are my favorites. Sometimes they're like yellow and green. Get after it with the scrubby side. It makes a huge difference, and don't be afraid. I mean, those all-clad stainless steel pans, that's why I like them over aluminum, are way more durable and they won't get scratched up too bad. Cast iron, yes, you can wash it with soap. After you do it, I like to dry it off really well on the stovetop, put a little bit of neutral oil, that's canola, vegetable, safflower, sunflower, in it, heat it, wipe it around, and you're good. Okay, that's gonna like re-seal it and re-season it. So don't feel like I'm going through a box of kosher salt every week cleaning my darn cast iron pan. You don't need to worry about that. I hope that helps. Cast iron cleaning and skillet cleaning 101. If it's really nasty, Barkeeper's Friend is available on the internet, and that will like set aside a day and do all your pots and pans.
Tommy Lynn says, "What are you making for sides? I'm hiding from my children in the bathroom because we're having a snow day."
Tommy is hiding from his kids. Hey, okay. What are we making for sides? This is kind of a one-pan thing, but let me show you. You could, of course, roast vegetables alongside because your oven's already at temp. And here in New York, it's like a snow hurricane or something. There was lightning and thunder with the snowflakes earlier. So, point being, it's not gonna get too hot if you turn the oven on inside. So roast some veg, roast some potatoes, boil some potatoes. What I have here is some washed arugula. I haven't had arugula in like 6 weeks, and that's a line from my favorite movie. Points to anyone who knows what I'm talking about. I'm sure 0 of you. Anyway, we're gonna make this bread salad, which is essentially the chicken fat croutons, some greens, and, look at this, our vinaigrette. You see how the pieces start to come together week over week over week? Okay, this is a vinaigrette we made a couple weeks ago. This one I guess we made last week. Shallot, Dijon, a little honey, vinegar, olive oil. But this is a good lesson. You see how, guys, come in here. Olive oil, when it's real, will solidify when it's cold. See how you have that olive oil iceberg there? Don't worry. See how it's melting around? That is what happens at room temp. So all you have to do, if you're like, I gotta eat this right now, this is not liquid, just run it under some hot water. Or stick it in a bowl of hot water and it'll soften pretty quickly. But for sides, in this case, we're gonna toss our croutons with our beautiful greens. Does not need to be arugula, I was just craving it. Could be any sturdier green. With your vinaigrette, you could add a nut, you could add a little bit of dried fruit. Currants would be nice. Pine nuts would be sophisticated. You could use whole parsley leaves or cilantro, basil, use your herbs like lettuce. That's kind of all there is to it. Okay, we got 2 minutes on the clock. I'm gonna go ahead and check this chicken. It's looking pretty good. Now, I will ask David for an instant read thermometer. It's going to keep me honest. But I really hope that we're there. Now, this is a pretty big chicken. Thank you, sir. Ooh, this is my favorite instant read thermometer. Guys, ecom moment. This is a Thermapen. Again, an investment, but this is a dope instant read thermometer. Never lies. Also good for robbers. Just kidding, I wish that on no one. Okay, chicken coming out. Phil, meet me by the stove. Oh. Did you see that? Okay, get in here, Phil. Tessa, watch your back. See, we've got all this like these yummy chicken juices and chicken fat. Delish. That's gonna dress our croutons. Now, to take the temp, I like to do it in 2 places to be sure. One between the leg and the thigh here. We're going for 165, so this probably needs like another minute. The breast, because it's leaner, will cook faster, so let's check this too. Yeah, already there. Now remember, this is going to carry over cook. So we're just going to throw this back in for a few more minutes. But we're nearly there. And remember, the closer you get to your done temp, the faster it's going to get there. It's kind of like exponential like that. So this will only need like a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, croutons looking nice. I want to give these a little bit longer. See how I'm getting like these nice golden edges? And this is why I like to tear it, because you get some like super crispy bits and some more tender bits. That's the loud timer. Thanks, Jerry. I think that means we can go ahead and flip this one too. There are a lot of things going on. Now, a word about using, Phil, don't die, come over. A word about using a kitchen towel as your oven mitt or pot holder. This is like a chefy cook thing that you learn working in restaurants because you always have it on you, and it's free. It becomes part of your hand. You can put it down, you can pick it up, but if you're going to use it as an oven mitt, you've got to make sure this thing is dry. If it's wet, it will create steam, and that's a bad burn, okay? So that's just word to the wise. You can absolutely use an oven mitt. No need to show off from me. So let's go ahead and turn this guy. So can you see? This skillet smells like peanut butter. Ooh, that looks nice. Okay. See, same deal. See how this is actually flattened quite nicely. Nice, even golden brown. And now that I turned it up, the wings are going to get nice color too. Okay, coming back. Ugh. This feels like way heavier than any cast iron skillet I've ever held in my life. Oy. Okay, there we go. Now, I think we're going to be there. See how fast? Okay. Thermapen, tell me. Thanks, Tessa. Check it. All right, 165. Now, remember, it's going to carry over cook. That means it's going to keep cooking as it rests. But remember, I want all those good juicy bits. This is a clean sheet tray. You could transfer this right to your cutting board, but I have some other things going on there, so I'm going to wait. And I'm just going to give these a wash because it did have some raw chicken on it. And then I'm going to transfer it to that sheet tray. Questions about chicken, about cast iron, about salad, croutons?
Okay, so.
Ooh, Rebecca's got a good one. I can tell.
I was told not to wash the chicken because of cross-contamination.
True.
Not that you did that, but just is
Yep.
it true or false?
I would say true.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. So Debbie heard that you're not supposed to wash a chicken because of the risk of cross-contamination. I agree. My feeling is you have a greater risk of spreading any potential bacteria during the washing process than if you just patted dry. Okay? That's the short answer, but I'm sticking to it. Okay, coming out of here, chicken. Ugh. Now, Phil, you might want to get close. Can you get close? I got my croutons. I have my beautiful chicken fat. Ooh, it's going to be so good. And guys, if you haven't tried this, I really, really encourage you to. It's so delicious. But remember, 3-ingredient chicken thighs? Same situation. We browned the chicken thighs, we got all that delicious fat, we tossed the vegetables in there, and we put it back in the oven. Same kind of thing. Actually, let's be smart. Pretend I didn't have these on the sheet tray and we didn't have to wash this. Back in the skillet, toss, toss, toss. Then you really get all those bits. Ooh, this is gonna be so good. And see how the bread soaks up those juices? Yum delish. You can even like press some of it in there. Yummy, yummy, yummy. We're gonna have a good lunch. And I'll say, if you made your vinaigrette ahead of time, which I know you did, if you were doing your homework, this is also a 3-ingredient meal. Chicken, bread, greens, that's it. You see? Okay, Phil, I'm coming back. And then back in the oven. Same thing, 5 to 7 minutes. I bet these are ready, and they are. Okay, you also see you could use a cast iron. You can go on this sheet tray. You got options here. You see how this is becoming like a fluid. I'm comfortable in my kitchen. I got some things ready to go kind of situation. Right. Okay, so all we do, we dress the greens, we add the croutons, we carve our chicken, and we eat. Get it? Get it? Get it? Okay, Rebecca, any more questions?
I mean, literally, Crystal is about to jump into the screen and eat this right now.
Crystal, come over.
Gail wants to know garlic on the croutons, yes or no?
Sure. Gail wants to know garlic on the croutons. If you like, you know what I might suggest instead? Roasting the garlic cloves whole with the chicken in the skillet. Chopped garlic at 450, risk of burning. And as you guys know, we've talked about before, once you burn garlic, ew, it makes everything bitter and yucky, and you kind of have to start over. So garlic powder, this would be a case where you could use that because it won't burn. But I would say, yeah, whole cloves in the skillet with the chicken when it goes in the oven. Yum delish. Anything else? I'm gonna say bigger bowl here. That's just me. And guys, honestly, I know that most of you don't have a bowl bigger than this. David's going to get me one because he is amazing. But I will say, like, you could toss this in batches, okay? I'm not gonna worry about it too much. I'm just gonna put half of it down and we'll dress this. We can dress a little bit here. The chicken's gonna be super juicy and delicious. We're okay, we're okay. We'll just show them. Guys, this is another big bowl. I know that this is about as big as bowls come in the sets. So I would just say, put half of your greens in here, toss, 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 put them on the platter, add the other half, toss, toss, toss. So no big deal. Thank you, guys. So I'm just gonna drizzle a little over here. Remember, this is just our go-to vinaigrette. Nothing fancy. Let's do half the croutons. Let's layer it up. Now, I encourage you to make more croutons than you think, because you will stand here and talk to your friend and like eat half the tray. So it's really better to make more. Okay. Croutons, more greens. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, that looks nice. A little more dressing. And look, your dressing is also now your sauce for your chicken. SOS, sauce on side. You hear? Okay, let's carve it and let's eat. And then everybody gets to go home because it's like a crazy snowstorm. Coming over. So this guy is in resting. Waiting for you. I'm just gonna give it a carve. I will say, spatchcocking the chicken also makes it so much easier to carve. You know why? Because I can see my map. I can see exactly where I need to go. So right onto my cutting board. And all you want to do is separate the pieces from one another. I'm going back to my little chef's knife here. Give it a quick wash. Now, we were talking about this a little bit before you guys got here, that we can't always have it all. So, oftentimes a faster meal means more dishes, but not necessarily more ingredients, okay? But just keep it in mind, you gotta think about what you want more. You want dinner on the table faster, or you wanna do less dishes? Up to you. Okay, if I could get in there, something's burning. It might be my brain. It's just something on the bottom of the oven, and you know what? This is wet, so I'm not gonna use it. She's getting smarter. Dry towel. I just wanna move this to the other oven. There we go. And these croutons looking delicious. I'm just gonna give them a little bit of a toss. I want you guys to see this. Yum. Look at that. Remember, towel on the handle. Oh my gosh, these smell so good. People in the room, do you smell these croutons? Louder.
Yes.
There we go. Okay.
I can smell them from the back.
Nice. You try and make it like church. Okay. Let's carve this chicken. See here how the leg is attached? Just going in here with my knife. I've already removed that bone that connects it, right? Ta-da! Did you guys see how easy that was? Same thing over here. Dee 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 dee. Ta-da! Okay, here's where it gets tricky. Now, you can cut the meat off of the bone, but like, where's the fun in that? What you want to do, when you got this breastbone here that we flattened earlier, same thing right here. Put your back into it, and you just want to come right through. And just take your knife, and it should, when it's done, be easier to get through. I might just need to come back a little. This is where like a longer knife would be helpful. See? Ooh, that's cooked to perfection, I would say. And then depending on how many people you're feeding, you can cut these breasts in half. Let's do that. So everyone can just take a piece and it's not like a crazy awkward fight. And then you put your chicken on top of your greens. They're gonna wilt slightly. And then you just had like a sophisticated 3-4 ingredient meal and you look like a genius, right? Right. Affirmative nodding, affirmative nodding. Okay, really quick just to show you. You guys see the map here? Leg, remember? He'll generally go like that, and the thigh, right? Just think about how they come when they're by themselves. There's a joint in there. We're going to try and find it real quick. So you just come in here at the corner, straight down, and then see, you can kind of stop. See the joint in there? Phil, can you see? Find it and go right through. You see? We'll come back and do another show about carving it when it's whole, because I think that would be helpful. The same thing. I see where I want to go. I'm coming in at the joint, kind of separate it. I see where it's easily coming apart, and I go right through. Oh, I feel good. Okay, chicken on top of my salad, and we are ready to eat. Any questions before we go? Everyone?
My belly, stomach is growling, putting this all in my grocery basket.
Guys, shop it. So really, just to review, all it was a chicken, some greens of your choice, some bread that you could tear. I like a crusty, kind of Italianish loaf. And then you've got your vinaigrette. Favorite salad dressing is fine too. That's it, okay? Those of you in the New York metro area, get home. I would also recommend buying a bag of marshmallows in a box of Rice Krispies, because that is what I'm going to make tonight. Make a really fast roast chicken. Show me this week. Tag it, RS Cooking School. Tag me so I can see it. And I will see you back here next week, okay? Feed yourselves well. Take it easy. And have a great week. So long. Let's get those other croutons.